Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Hope you're having a great day. Listen, it doesn't matter what the market is doing today at the time of seeing this. What matters is where are we headed right now? There is a lot going on. The Fed blessed us yesterday. And now I'm going to play two short video clips, but I need you guys to listen. I don't want you to go and get popcorn because it's important. Then I'm going to talk about two important things as it pertains to the stock market and crypto. Okay, let's go. All right. So you guys know on yesterday, the Fed was sounding very dovish. He was, he shocked a lot of people. As a matter of fact, let's go right to an article right here. Look at this. The Fed left interest rates unchanged at 5.25% to 5.5%. Most policymakers expected the interest rates to increase. All right, to increase are over. Mr. Powell made it clear. Policy now on pause. Okay, and the next phase will be rate cuts, not hikes, but cuts. In fact, the Fed expects to cut interest rates 3 times next year. 3 times next year. And that was really good news for the stock market. It took off. Crypto took off. What? The question is, what is next year looking like, right? So now, what I want you guys to do, I want you guys to listen very closely to this clip that I'm going to play for you. Now, you guys know I listen to CNBC every day, all day, and some of the other ones too. But there's a gentleman there that's a perma bull. He is always a perma bull. Now, this was posted 6 days ago, before, should I say 7 days ago, 6 days before the Fed came. He has been a perma bull. I used to think he was crazy. He looks a little disheveled, but he's been right every time. And I'm like, how can you be this bullish? But I want you guys to take a listen.
Bulls suggest this market can keep running well into 2024. One of those optimists, an uber one at that, is Tom Lee. He's FundStrat's managing partner, head of research, back with us at Post 9. Welcome back.
Great to be back, Scott.
All right, so before we get to where you think we can go, you were pretty right as to where you thought we would be. Right? 4750 was your target for the end of this year. We're at 46, we'll call it. You said mega cap was going to lead the way. In fact, it has. Why do you think things have gone right for you and investors and bulls for the most part, especially lately?
I think people were fooled by the yield curve at the start of this year, thinking we'd have a hard landing, and they didn't want to fight a Fed, but they're forgetting the Fed was fighting an inflation war, not a business cycle. So our bet was inflation would be softer, you'd avoid a hard landing, and then we've seen the Fed kind of take its foot off the neck of monetary policy. So I think it was economists were too bearish, and the technical picture turned positive very quickly. It was a triumph of technicians.
What if it's just a late year, run as fast as you can, catch up to what you missed? A lot of money has come in and it's just chasing everything to the end of the year as rates have come down.
Well, if we thought this was a head fake, and I think if this is 98, we can run another 7% from today.
To when?
To year end. But
this year end?
Well, I think 4,800 is more reasonable. But
you're a believer in the broadening of the move, and you think it carries beyond the calendar turn?
Yeah, because now as we get into next year, we'll have an FOMC decision, but I think it's going to show the Fed is no longer fighting an inflation war, but really shifting towards managing the business cycle. Huge change. I think interest rates could make a huge move lower. Mark Newton, our technician, thinks it could be 3.5%, 3.2%. And that would take mortgage rates down to 5 or under 5%. We know that would help the economy. And I think there's a lot of pent-up demand for CapEx. So I'd say that stocks could do very well next year.
Mr. Tom Lee, he looks disheveled. He always looked like he just put the bottle down. I'm just going to say he's been right. He's been right all of this time. For those of you last week that was on my live, I said, listen, if a giraffe rings my doorbell and has a monkey with him and goes to my office and put that monkey on a ceiling fan and slap that monkey, and that monkey spins around 3 times, comes down, go to my computer and say, buy that stock, and I buy it, and it was a winner, then for the next 9 days he comes and do the same thing and everything he picks is a winner, then I'm going to listen to that monkey. I'm going to answer the door every time a giraffe rings the bell, right? And if my wife comes in, like, what are you doing with these animals in the house? I'm like, come here, baby. I'm gonna have popcorn. All right, now he gonna smack them. Yep, right. Now he gonna go to my computer. Now watch this. Boom, boom. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to look and listen to the person that is right, not the person that looks smart. Okay. So Tom Lee, man, I know you looks disheveled, but Tom Lee is the man. He's been right all of this time. Now, listen to this, good people. I always try to look at opposing sides. Now, we know how these news medias act, right? When the market is bearish, all of their commentaries are bearish and their guests are bearish. When the market is bullish, all of their commentary is bullish. But Tom Lee has been right this entire year, even when I thought, like, this dude is just a permabull. That's not healthy, which it isn't, right? So now I want you guys to listen to a brief video that was recorded after Jerome Powell gave the good news.
Okay? What are your best pieces of advice right now, Peter?
Well, I think it's really interesting because if you look at it on its face, Powell said, okay, we see that inflation's decelerating. When we all said, well, we know that, and I'm not going to raise rates. And the market, 98% chance expected that. Everyone knew that. But for him to say, and I expect to take rates down 3 times next year, no one expected that. So on the one hand, the market's very excited. You see risk on assets doing the best. That's what we would expect to do the best. Small cap stocks, something we've been recommending for a little while, anticipating this, though not this quickly and this vocally, I think is the place to be. But I do think there's a message behind this message, which is, what is it that he knows that everyone else doesn't seem to know? I mean, I think that it appears, looking at all the data, that the landing is relatively soft. And he took the extra step today of feeling the need to say out loud, I am going to lower rates several times next year. And I think that's really what took the markets by surprise. And as you said, we expect lower mortgage rates. You expect risk on assets to do better. But it's still, to me, there's a message behind the message that maybe he thinks he had to say that to prevent a little bumpier landing.
He raises a good point. What do you guys think? Tom Lee, he said everything that Tom Lee said 6 days before the Fed made the speech, okay? Now, we all expected there to be a pause. We all expected there to be interest rate cuts next year. But maybe there is something that Powell sees, okay? So it won't be bumpy. And remember, I said he's been using his words. I said mouth. He was using his mouth as a tool. And some of y'all anyway, y'all nasty. But anyway, he's been using his words as a tool to help slingshot the market. And he's been using it wisely, okay? So we can't take that away from him. Now, so the stock market could continue, even if there's a pullback, even if there's a pullback later today, even if there's a pullback in January, the stock market next year could be a good year, and we could have a Santa Claus rally and close at 4,800 now, right? Let me know how that would affect your decisions, your trading decisions in the comments. Now, at first, there were a lot of economists thinking that by March, the Fed will start to cut interest rate by March. Now, the speculation has moved to April. So what else? So what else happens in April? This is almost orchestrated perfectly. The halving in crypto also happens in April. If those two things line up, it could be a major game changer for crypto and the crypto miners, okay? So remember, crypto is very volatile and anything could happen, right? But if things line up and these spot ETFs get passed, so here's another, this is big news. Look at this, good people. This happened yesterday. This was a post from yesterday. Look at this. Top stories. A change to the mechanics of BlackRock's proposed spot Bitcoin ETF. Okay. Now, you guys that don't know, BlackRock manages over $10 trillion. All right. They manage over $10 trillion with a T, not a B. I mean, what BlackRock gets, and for those of you that know the history of BlackRock, what BlackRock wants, BlackRock gets. But I want you guys to read this, all right? We know that, I'm sorry, good people, we know that the banks don't like crypto and they don't like Bitcoin, right? Jamie Dimon is coming out against it. But check this out, good people. Look at this. The door for Wall Street banks. Look at this. A change to the mechanics of BlackRock's proposed spot Bitcoin ETF opens the door for Wall Street banks, right? Which faces restriction holding cryptocurrencies, right? To play a key role, BlackRock recently made its unauthorized participants, APS, a vital part of the ETF ecosystem. We'll be able to create new fund shares with cash rather than only with cryptocurrency. You guys, so I know you're asking, what is APS? Well, let's look. APS, right? Look, requirements for banks operating or applying to operate the assured payment system. Assured payment system in order to operate in the APS. A bank must do all of these things. Okay? So what they would do is the banks could be the cash, while BlackRock can hold the cash equivalents in crypto. All right. So you guys can read all of this. So why is that important? Because it allows the banks to participate in the cryptocurrency. So it's not such a big threat, right? You guys know the saying, keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. Touche. Touche, BlackRock. Touche. All right. So that's what I wanted you guys to know about what could happen and what's going on right now. This could be huge. If the banks see this and realize that they can't stop cryptocurrency, they can't stop Bitcoin, and they say, hey, if you can't beat them, let's join them, and they decide to do this, then you heard when I interviewed the CEO of Mara, even if these big institutions add 1% to their balance sheets, 1% of Bitcoin to their balance sheets, it's a game changer, good people. It's a game changer. Hey, I'm going to leave it right there. But before I do that, good people, look, if you want to learn how to invest like us, if you want to learn how to trade like us, then come and join us with Stock Up You. All right, just come and join us. Who is us? Myself teaching you basic fundamentals, everything about the stock market and all of that. And then if you want to learn how to trade and know when to sell and when to buy, then Stocks with Josh is going to show you charting. And then options, if you want to make, 50, 100, 200, 300% gains in a day, then learn options, basic fundamentals, dividends, right? And we got stock mode that's going to be coming with bonds. All right. So I want you guys to check that out. That's going to be the top link below. Let me know what you think about any of this news that I shared with you today. I consider it a blessing to have you guys with me, and continue to share this page, like this page, and leave me comments. Peace.